They called it Carthage, the new city, though its fate would forever haunt the annals of history as both a marvel of human ingenuity and a warning of the fragility of greatness. From the barren North African coast rose a civilization that would dominate the Western Mediterranean, carved from salt, sand, and ambition. Its founders, Phoenician merchants and sailors, brought with them the art of shipbuilding, trade, and devotion to gods whose names were whispered in temples built from cedar and stone. Carthage thrived not through conquest alone, but through cunning commerce, navigating the tides of politics and wealth with a precision that rivaled its finest navigators. Its harbors overflowed with bronze, silver, and purple cloth, and its markets drew merchants from the Levant to the Atlantic, each transaction a testament to the city's sophistication and reach. Yet empires cannot exist in isolation, and Rome, a rising power across the sea, watched with suspicion and envy. In their eyes, Carthage's wealth was tainted by audacity, and its independence a threat that must be extinguished. The Punic Wars were not merely battles. They were existential tests of resilience, strategy, and will. In the First Punic War, fleets clashed in waves of wood, bronze, and fire as both sides struggled to master the sea. Cities became bases of calculation, generals strategized across distances that defied maps, and men fought under banners that represented not just nation, but identity itself. Yet Carthage survived, learning from defeat, adapting with the cunning that had defined its rise. And then came Hannibal Barca, a man whose very name was prophecy. From the moment he swore an oath of enmity against Rome beneath the silent gaze of his gods, his life became a march of audacity and vengeance. Crossing the Alps with elephants, confronting freezing winds, treacherous paths, and hostile tribes, he led an army whose courage seemed divine, leaving Rome stunned in awe and terror. At Trebia, Trasimene, and the unparalleled carnage of Cannae, Hannibal's tactics became legend, encircling legions, breaking formations, turning the might of Rome into blue-dyed ruin, and demonstrating that intelligence, courage, and determination could rival raw numbers. Yet even legends face the inexorable tide of history. Rome adapted, sending generals who could counter Hannibal's brilliance, who could wear down his armies, who could erode the foundations of Carthage's power not by might alone, but by patience, siege, and strategy. The Second Punic War became a story of endurance, of genius opposed by relentless pragmatism, of victories that could not secure a lasting peace. Hannibal returned to Africa to defend his homeland, only to meet eventual defeat at Zama, where Rome's discipline shattered Carthage's hope of supremacy. But Carthage did not surrender its spirit quietly. It rebuilt, it reformed, it continued to trade, innovate, and influence culture across the Mediterranean. Its walls and harbors rose again, a testament to the resilience and ambition of its people. Yet Rome, ever watchful and unyielding, declared that the final chapter must be written in fire and salt. In the Third Punic War, the Romans laid siege to the city with relentless force, starving its people, storming its defenses, and extinguishing centuries of civilization in a campaign designed for total annihilation. Houses and temples became pyres, streets ran with smoke and desperation, and the citizens, warriors, merchants, women, and children alike, faced choices between death, slavery, and surrender. Carthage resisted to the bitter end, demonstrating that courage and defiance often outlast the oppressor's plans. When the city finally fell in 146 BC, Rome sowed its ruins with salt, a symbolic act of erasure meant to ensure that nothing would grow from its ashes. And yet, the story of Carthage could not be obliterated. Its innovations in commerce, its naval supremacy, and the legacy of Hannibal's genius endured in the strategies, laws, and memories of the civilizations that followed. The Phoenician alphabet, the spread of Mediterranean trade practices, the courage of a people who refused to bow, These echoes remain as I reflect on the rise and fall of Carthage, standing in imagination upon its once bustling ports. I see more than a destroyed city. I see a civilization that challenged a world that embodied ambition, resilience, and intellect, and that paid the ultimate price for daring to rise against a rival empire. History is littered with victories and defeats, but some stories resonate across time not for conquest alone, but for the spirit of those who dared, who built, who fought, and who endured even when faced with annihilation. Carthage teaches that greatness is measured not only by the empires that survive, but by the courage to dream, to challenge, and to leave an indelible mark upon the world. Its legacy whispers through centuries, a civilization that lived boldly, loved fiercely, and fell tragically, yet whose story continues to inspire, warn, and captivate. Subscribe to Teduent for more stories history tried to forget.